Hey guys, welcome back to Archie's 4-month update. I'm filming this a little bit late because we have just been so crazy busy the last month. So he's now closer to 5 months, but everything that I'm going to include in this video is stuff that he was doing at 4 months of age. So starting off with his statistics, which I've got in his little book here because I couldn't remember them off the top of my head because it's been a little while. So where are we? At his 4-month checkup, he was 6.4 kilos, 62 centimeters long, and 41 centimeters head circumference. I don't know what that is in pounds and inches and that sort of stuff. If I have time or I remember, I'll try to convert it and put it somewhere so that you guys know. But 6.4 kilos, so in between 3 and 4 months, he put on a whole kilo, which is great. I feel like he's finally taking off with his weight and really like starting to fill out, as you can see. I mean, he's closer to 5 months now, but he's definitely filling out. At 4 months, he was still in 3 zeros, and he's only now, I think, going to have to go up to the next size, and he's closer to 5 months. So at 4 months, he's in 3 zeros or 0 to 3 months still, but like I said, he's very close to not being in that anymore. He has almost outgrown his small sized cloth nappies, and he has gone into the next size up in his disposables, which he mostly wears at night. So he's now in the crawler size of the Huggies, and at night, sorry, and in the day he's in his cloth, but he's not, he just fits into his small itty bitties, and I've put his Baby Behinds Petite all-in-ones because they were smalls. I've put them all away now because they were just way too small for him. So he's just wearing like mostly one size fits most nowadays because it's just so much easier than binder sized nappies. He at 4 months was so close to being able to roll, and in the last week and a half or so he has started rolling. So like 4.5 months he started rolling, but at 4 months he wasn't all that interested in rolling. Like every now and then he'd give it a go, but he'd basically just not really show any interest in rolling. And then all of a sudden he just, one day I was putting him down and he just wanted to be on his tummy, and it took him like probably a day of trying, and then the next day he had it down pat. So once he decided he wanted to roll, then he was good to go. But it did take him a little while to show some interest in actually doing it. He's also now more interested in toys and playing on his mat, which is quite helpful because it means that I can get a few things done while he's playing. He loves standing up, as you can see. Like, he just wants to be up and looking around at everything. He is grabbing at his toys as well. He's still not got great coordination, but he's definitely showing interest in toys and actually deliberately going to grab things. His toys on his playmat, he's hitting them and making them swing. You know, like he'll reach for my phone or anything like that if I'm concentrating on it, or if I'm reading a book or anything like that, he wants to grab it. So he's definitely more aware of his surroundings and wanting to grab stuff. Hey. He is quite noisy. He will, when he's playing, he just likes to make lots of different noises. We have got a giggle out of him, but it's very rare. You know, we've maybe got it like once or twice. But he can giggle, he just doesn't want to. But he is such a smiley baby. He is always smiling. He does have his moments, so we are currently going through leap 4, which is just like the biggest leap in the world. If you don't know what I'm talking about the Wonder Weeks. The babies go through developmental leaps, and this 4th developmental leap lasts like 4 or 5 weeks or something ridiculous like that, and he is currently going through that. We are almost at the end of it, thank goodness. If you want to know more about it, you can download the Wonder Weeks app. But basically he's just not been his normal happy self. Like, he is still pretty happy, but he just has moments where he is quite unsettled. He has been finding it more difficult to go down to sleep. Normally I wouldn't notice that he was getting tired, so I'd start to cuddle him in and he'd sort of just nuzzle in and go off to sleep. But lately he has started to fight the sleep and will you know, have like 5 or 10 minutes where he's just like loses it and is screaming and crying before he realizes that he's just tired and needs to go to sleep. So that's been a bit difficult, and his sleep at night also has just been all over the place. Like, going back to when he was 3 months, he was getting into a really good sleep routine where he'd have like a good 8 hours of sleep at the start of the night, and then after that he'd wake every 3 hours for a feed, which was perfect. That's kind of gone out the window. Twice he slept through the night, which I knew probably wasn't going to last, and now it's just all over the place. Like, some nights he will wake up every 2 hours to feed, or other nights, you know, it's 3 hours, and then sometimes he just doesn't want to go back to sleep afterwards. So that's been really difficult because he's kind of gone back to sleeping like a newborn, which, you know, you get used to, but because we were used to him sleeping well and then we're going back to not sleeping well, it's so much more difficult. If he had been on that routine like the whole way through, it probably wouldn't be as bad, but we kind of had a few weeks where we had good sleep, so you kind of thought that you're on the other end of things, and then it, yeah, went bad again. I guess, I mean, compared to what a lot of other people have to go through, it's probably not that terrible, but it's just hard when you're not sleeping amazingly. For example, last night he woke up at 2, I fed him, put him back in his cot, and he woke up, so I got him back out and fed him, sorry, not fed him again, rocked him again, and he fell back asleep, put him in his cot, he woke up again. And he just would not go back to sleep after that. He was like wide awake, wanting to play at 2 o'clock in the morning, which was very difficult. So hopefully after this sleep has finished, he will go back to sleeping well. His daytime sleeps are still pretty good. He normally sleeps 2 or 3 times, but again with this leap, sometimes, like, he had a nap this morning and it was only like half an hour, whereas he used to have like good blocks of naps, and lately he's been having like a big nap during the afternoon, like a 2-3 hour nap, which is good because again it means I can get a few things done. So I guess we'll just see how he goes with all of that in the next little while. I'm hoping it's just a leap thing and he'll go back to sleeping well, fingers crossed, because I do notice in him he is a lot better when he sleeps better. He also, when he is going down to sleep, is so much more like fidgety and just really unsettled. I don't know, it kind of looks like he has trapped wind or something, I'm not really sure. He just, when he's lying down, he's just like really fighting it. So I'm going to take him to the osteopath just for a checkup to make sure everything's aligned and everything like that. He still hates the car seat, so I don't know if it's because he's uncomfortable or if he just doesn't like being alone in the back of the car, because he does like constant attention and like constant stimulus. So I don't know if it's something to do with that, but it's making it really hard to drive anywhere. It makes me not want to go to places because I have to put up with him screaming the whole way. Sometimes he's perfect and, you know, it's great, and then other times it's just like torture and it makes it really hard to concentrate on what you're doing, especially if you're in traffic and stuff, and it's just so stressful. So with the osteopath, I'm hoping like maybe, you know, if he is uncomfortable because something's not aligned properly, that might help, but I'm really just pulling at straws here and trying to find some sort of a solution. I have discovered if I give him some toys while he's in the car seat, that does tend to help, but you're sort of limited to soft toys. So I've got something like his elephant comforter here. I give him that because obviously it's nice and soft, so if we do have an accident, goodness forbid, but it's not dangerous for him to have in the back of the car seat with him, as opposed to something like this, which, you know, if you're in an accident could do a lot of damage if it hits him. So that has sort of helped, and he has started to go off to sleep if he's tired in the car seat. If he wears himself out from crying, he will go to sleep sometimes. So it has gotten better, but then other days I feel like it's not gotten better at all. So I really want to try and find a solution to that. I really want to do extended rear facing. I do not want to have to turn him at 6 months. You know, we'll just have to stay at home a lot if that's the case, because I don't want to turn him to forward facing at all. In Australia legally you can turn them from 6 months, but yeah, I really don't want to have to do that. So I don't know what your issue is. It's so much better when we go somewhere as a family, because I'll sit in the back and entertain him, and that is a lot better. He still isn't completely happy a lot of the times, but it's a lot better. And then Ryan drives. What else are you doing, buddy? He is drinking 120 mils still, 120 to 150 actually. He is at the moment having 50-50, so 50% breast milk, 50% formula, and the breast milk that I'm using is donated breast milk from mainly from one mother who had issues with tongue tying, that sort of stuff, and had been pumping, and just in the end has just got more than she needs for her little girl, because her little girl is back on the breast and not having to really have top-ups anymore. So she has donated to me probably close to like 15 litres, I'm guessing, because the last one that I got was 8 litres, and then she's donated I think 3 or 4 times now, and she just messaged me to say she's got more for me. So I'm trying to make it last longer by giving him like 50% breast milk, 50% formula, just so that I can make it, yeah, last longer. He is no longer breastfeeding from me. Every now and then he will like be acting like he's looking for the breast, and I will offer it, and he'll sort of have 1 or 2 sucks then come off. There is no milk there anymore. In the end, he was just getting far too distracted to breastfeed with the supply line. It was getting so fiddly. He would pull at the line, so we would just get milk everywhere. He wasn't concentrating on what he needed to do. My supply was just minuscule, like I'd be lucky to get a few drops, and with the supply line I needed to be feeding constantly from the supply line in order to maintain those few drops, really. And oh, bless you. And it got to the point where he would just be so fussy with it that I couldn't feed in public. It just got really frustrating for the both of us. And so we just slowly like cut down and was giving more bottles, and then in the end I just had no milk left. I would really have liked it if he kept on feeding, just like even if it was for comfort, but he just wasn't really interested. He just loves his food and he wants it the quickest way he can get it, and he just didn't have the patience anymore for the breast. So yeah, unfortunately, like, that has come to an end at 4 months, but I think I'm pretty happy with the fact that we did make it to 4 months. You know, I was so ready to throw in the towel a lot sooner, so to get to 4 months, we're pretty happy with. Obviously, I would have liked it to be a whole lot different, but there's nothing I can really do about that now. As you can see, he is very active. He loves to sit up and pull himself forward. He loves to stand up, don't you? You love to stand. He's getting super strong. He can't really sit up by himself, but he will sit up, and as long as he's got something to sort of balance on, he's like fairly stable when he is sitting up, aren't you? Hey. Yeah. As you can see, he's a very smiley baby, aren't you? He loves to grab for your face and stuff now. He will grab my necklace, especially when he's falling asleep. He'll grab your face, your hair, everything. He loves being outdoors. He loves going for walks. He loves being in his Tula baby carrier. He enjoys the pram as well now, but he will definitely love being in the Tula because I think he can look around a bit more, and obviously he's close to me in the Tula, and he will often fall asleep in that as well. So I think that's about all I needed to include in his 4-month update. If there's anything else that I've missed out or that you think of, just leave it down below. But yeah, I always find it hard, like I have all these things in my head of what I want to say, and then I go to film it and I probably forget half of it, but I think I've included like most of the important stuff. So I will be back again in probably like 2 weeks or something like that with his 5-month update, and I might try and do a video all about like my update in terms of postpartum and how I'm feeling and everything. Yeah, but yeah, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I think now that hopefully his leap is over, things are going to get a lot easier, and I will have a little bit of extra time up my sleeve. But that's all I've got for you today. This guy is getting really over it, so we will talk to you guys later. Bye. Say bye, Archie. Bye. Hey. Is that you? Is that you in the camera? Is that you in the camera?